Francine Sanders. I'm from Bay City. My birthday is 11/4/21. I joined the Nature Club in 1987. Julia Hill started our Nature Club, and she was doing the Christmas bird count, and I started going with her. As far as I can remember, I've missed only one. At the time we started, Jim Bergen was the one who helped start it, so that's been a long time ago. Well, we've had some good weather and bad weather, and we had one where it was so cold that my daughter's fingers turned white, and it was freezing. And the person driving our car was Betty Jo Lowry, and she had had a foot operation, so she stayed in the car and we walked, and that's why we got so cold. But anyway, she had kept the car warm for us, and we came back to that, so that helped a whole lot. And I just enjoy being on the Christmas bird count, and the fact that we've been #1 in the nation for so many years. Everybody likes a winner, so I enjoy it.
Good. Who do you bird with in the bird count, and what section do you bird?
Okay, my daughter Karen McBride is the leader of the River Ranches section. That's private ranches that we have permission to bird on. Mainly ours is George Harrison's ranch. He and his wife are very cooperative and interested in all of this, and they come to our countdown dinner, and he's always hoping that we will find a rare bird that nobody else finds. And one year he created wetlands for us. He didn't have any on his ranch, so that helped us get a lot more birds. And we just bird all day. We usually get 100 species. My daughter's really practicing expert, and she hears and sees a lot better than I do. So my role mostly was keeping the records, and now she started doing that on her smartphone. So last year we found what we thought was a rare bird. I saw the movement in a bush, and the bird finally came out, and it was a Pyrrholoxia. And we thought we had something that nobody else had, but somebody ahead of us gave their report at the countdown, and they'd already seen it, so ours was not rare, but we thought it was.
So have you found, over the 25 years, have you found any other rare birds?
One year we had a tree full of Harris's sparrows. One year we had 72 long-billed curlews. Last year we had a lot of bald eagles. I forgot how many exactly, but a lot. And of course, you know, a lot of bald eagles nest in this area, Matagorda County. And it was not anything rare, but it was fun to see that many. I can't think of anything else rare. We just count everything that we see, all kinds of birds, shorebirds, the ones you find in the trees and the bushes, and the wetlands birds, and just, oh, the thing I hate the worst is getting up at 4:30 in the morning. We have to be there while it's still dark, according to my daughter, so we can find the short-eared owl. So I get over it, but I think, why am I doing this when I get up at 4:30?
And do you find the short-eared owl?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and we take our lunch and maybe a little bottle of coffee to have about 10:30 in the morning, and it's a lot of fun. Well, it's nice when we have nice weather, but as Brent Artigo says, we can't order the weather. So we go regardless. The Christmas bird count that I missed, that I recall, it was flooding, just raining, and the roads out to the lodge at the Mad Allen Marsh were real muddy, and I didn't go, and they got the ones who did go got stuck and had to be pulled out, and So I was glad I stayed home. We have another team, another group with our team, about 3 men, and they're from Dallas. And they like to do the wooded area because they walk all day long. And we do the rest of it. So we switched last year, and now we're switching back. So it makes it good.
And what about the rest of the day? What do you spend your time doing afternoon and evening?
Well, we take time to eat our lunch in the car, or a bit close to the car, and then we just go back and start looking for birds. We're birding all day.
And tell me about the post-count dinner.
The countdown dinner. We're having it now at the community center in Wadsworth, which is really a good location for everybody. And the dinner is catered, I believe, by A&A Barbecue. I'm not positive, but David and Marilyn Sitz have arranged that. And David Sitz is the one who got permission from the ranch owners for us to bird on their ranches. The countdown dinner is very good. We have barbecue and beans and salad and all that. And then Brent Ortego calls out each section leader, and they give he calls a list of birds off, and everybody says yes or no that they saw it. And of course then he asks for rare birds, and they're not on your list. And sometimes people have those. So the men on our team got a brown-crested flycatcher, I believe it was. That's a rare one for here. They're usually found down in the valley. And some of the birds that used to be in the valley are moving up north, because we've had a great kiskadee nesting at the nature center. So that's rare. Yeah. One year we had we were doing the section at Matagorda, and we had a guy in there. All I can remember his name was Chuck. It was a friend of a friend, and we saw a roadrunner. Now they're shown in the book to be here, but that's the first one we had seen. So nobody else called out a roadrunner, and Brent Ortego said, "Well, you'll have to write that up, Francine." And I said, "Brent, how can you not see a roadrunner with a long neck and a long tail and the stripes?" He said, "Oh well, forget it."
What else can you tell me about Brent?
Well, he does a superb job of getting experienced birders to come. We have people from Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, from all over. As I said, everybody likes a winner. And so they come, and those guys have to spend a couple of nights in a motel, but they're here. So that's why we have such a good bird count, and the varied habitat that we have. It's a 17-mile radius, I believe. Anyway, it doesn't go all the way to Bay City. It goes up, including the Lyondale plant, but not all the way to the little city of Wadsworth. So, and we have the river, and we have wooded habitat, and the people that bird STP get a lot of birds, and some of the guys that bird the Lyondale property always have some kind of rare warbler that's still here in the wintertime. They always have good warblers. And a woman named Samita Prasad, her group has found a lesser nighthawk. Common nighthawk is what we usually have here. And they find this one on their section every year, usually. So different ones, I can't remember and name all of them, but by having that many different birders, that's why we have such a good count. And Brent puts it on a computer, and it's up on the screen where we all can see it. And we also count the number of birds as well as the name of the different birds.
So what's your favorite part of the bird count? Why do you keep coming back?
I think the favorite part is getting over 100 species on our team, and just feeling like we've accomplished our part of the count. And I just enjoy the countdown dinner. I see people I haven't seen in a year or two. And last year I was the oldest one there because I was 95. And Brent gives out a paper cup with a little bit of M&Ms in it for anybody that reports a rare bird. So he told everybody that, well, Francine is 95, so I guess she gets some M&Ms. I got a little cup with a little handful of M&Ms in it. So maybe I'll get another cup this year.
Well, you certainly deserve it. Is there anything else you'd like to say about memories from the past? Good, bad, funny? Any particular thing stands out? Well,
one year we had a driver with us, Sherry Head. She's an excellent driver. And we were driving all over that ranch. That was the year that it was muddy. And that didn't stop me from going this time. Anyway, we got stuck. And we were way, way down on that ranch next to the river at Matagorda. And I thought, well, we're going to be here 2 or 3 days. But she kept rocking the car back and forth, and we finally got out. But that was scary, because we'd slide when she'd back up, you know, and I thought, oh boy, we're in for it. But we got out. That was a memorable thing, and my daughter took pictures of the car with mud splattered all over it. So that was a memorable time. And I don't know, I can't think of any right offhand. I just enjoy being part of it. Years ago, I lived in Dallas. I had a Girl Scout troop. My daughter was a Brownie Scout and then a Girl Scout. And we went camping at a camp outside of Dallas called Camp Whispering Cedars. And I just learned the birds. I got a bird book, you know, and I just write them down and look them up. And when I started birding with Julie Hill, she was such an expert. We were all guilty of just letting her identify. I would write them down. She would call it out and I'd write them down when we were birding together. Then when she got killed in 1997 in a car wreck, I thought, well, now I better just sit down and learn these birds and not expect somebody else to identify them. So that's one thing I've done.
Mm-hmm. And is it my understanding that Julie got killed on the bird count day?
No, she had moved to Louisiana, and she was coming up here to help us on our spring bird count, which we had. It covered all of Matagorda County, including Bay City. And she always helped with it, and somebody said she was probably looking at a bird. She ran into a bridge. I think they said she took like 7 pilings out, and so she was killed. Mm-hmm. It was very sad, very traumatic. Everybody missed her. We have it's a long little walk, and like a water fountain, or I don't know if you call it that, but anyway, it's a memorial to Julie at the Nature Center. And we got volunteers to work on that, and it turned out really good. So we still miss her. Yeah. She was really good, and she liked to go birding all the time. I made several trips to the valley with her. And then one year, my daughter lived in Arizona, and she and I flew out there, and Karen had a 4-day birding trip scheduled for us. I got 56 live birds on that trip. So that really got me interested.
So how many are on your life list?
I have over 600, but I should have more, having birdied 30 years, but I haven't been able to travel all over the United States and get the birds that we don't see here. So
still pretty good.
Yeah, Karen has done that. She's traveled all over. She's got over 700. If there's a new birder who wants to take part in it, they can get with a group and learn by listening to the experienced birders they're with all day long. And I guess a lot of people might be like me. They don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning. I always tell people when they ask me, what do I credit my longevity to? I say, well, birding is a big part of it. It's an interest. It's a hobby. I'm an outside interest, and I learn something every time I go birding. And I think that's important for a person. I'm not one to sit at home and feel sorry for myself. I like to be out doing things. So I have something I do every day. Anyway, yeah, that's what I would tell people. It's just fun to be a part of the thing and the results that we get, and knowing how much fun it is and how many people you see and friends you make. All of that.
Great. You gonna keep coming back?
Yes, as long as I can.